We had a text from somebody else last hour that said Tennessee fans need to realize that UT only has 2 national championship football teams in school history. Expectations are too high.
Too high?
And the fans are ungrateful.
They're not too high. They're not too high. Your AD, your head coach, talk about chasing championships. That's what they talk about. That's what they want to do. So that's the expectation, that we're going to chase championships in every sport. That's what we're doing. So the expectations are not too high. We're doing it to win a championship. Do I think Knoxville is lucky to have Josh Heupel? Absolutely, considering what happened before he took the job. But why are we even having this conversation? Like, why do we have to have this conversation? Why can't we be able to say, hey, man, like, we're in a good spot with our head coach, but we want a little bit more. Like, they want more. You don't think they're saying, hey, man, last season was good, but let's see if we can have a better season. You think they're sitting over there going, hey, man, last season was good. That's the best we're going to do. So, all right, boys, let's just hang it up. No, like, they're trying to do a better job than they did last season. At least I would hope. Like, what's wrong with wanting more? What's wrong with wanting nice things? Like, if my kids come into my office and say, hey, Dad, you know, I mean, I'm really appreciative about, you know, the roof that you provided for us and how hard you work and, you know, you keep us safe and keep the lights on, there's food on the table. And I really appreciate that. But I was wondering, Dad, there's these new Nikes that I would love to have. How would I sound saying, what's wrong with you? What? You're not grateful for what you got? Huh? You're not grateful? Why do you want something better? Why do you want some new shoes? You should be grateful for what you have. No, you can be appreciative of what you have, but want some nicer things. Like, as a fan, you can be appreciative of what's happened in the last 4 years and want a little bit more without the fan police coming around going, oh, my God, you being ungrateful. What's wrong with you? You got unrealistic expectations, man. You're not a real fan if you want to win more. Like, come on, man. Chill out a little bit.
Both can be true. You can recognize here today on the 4th anniversary of Josh Heupel being hired that he has had tremendous success. As you mentioned, considering the position the Vols were in 2021, what he inherited, what he had to build out of, and what they've done. 2 wins against Alabama, 2 wins against Florida, 2 double-digit regular season win seasons, a spot in the college football playoff. Tennessee is one of 4 SEC schools to finish ranked in the top 25 at the end of each of the last 3 seasons. Only 4 SEC schools have done it. Tennessee is one of them. That's all really good. The ultimate goal is to go compete for and win championships. And that is something that we've talked about Tennessee trying to do moving forward, trying to be in a better position in 2025 and 2026. And we're talking about that while Josh Heupel is talking about that. Josh Heupel is not sitting here saying, well, we made it into the top 10. I guess we're good. I don't care about winning a championship. He won a national championship as a quarterback at Oklahoma. His goal is to win one as a head coach. So Josh Heupel and his staff and people at University of Tennessee can look at it and say, hey, we should be proud of what we've done here the last few years. Mm-hmm. And we should want to do more. We should strive to do more, and I can promise you that's the conversation they're having as well.
Yeah, man, we won 10 games, man. It would be nice if, you know, maybe next year we can win 11. What? How dare you want more? What's wrong with you? You're not grateful for 10? Yeah, I'm grateful, but I like 11.
If Tennessee falls short against Georgia in week 3, Josh Heupel's not going to end the game at his press conference saying, well, won 10 games last season. Yeah. 2022, we had the number 1 scoring offense.
Yeah.
What's the problem? So I don't agree with the text that came in.
No, me neither. Like, you can be appreciative but want a little bit more. That's okay. I would hope that people had the same mentality when it came to their jobs. Like, hey, man, you've been working there for 10 years. You've done a good job. You're making this amount of money. And I hope you don't go to work going, well, I mean, I'll just do the same thing I've done and not try to get better, not try to make the company better, not try to be better myself. Just, hey, I'm just not going to push myself and just, hey, same old, same old. I would hope that tomorrow is about being a little bit better.
What do you feel like it's going to take for to take that next step when you get to this point in the season?
Well, we got to play better. We got to coach better. Ohio State's a good football team. Tonight wasn't one of our best performances this year, and so end of the day, you got to continue to grow. We'll start again and start retooling and rebuilding and grow as a football team. So, 2 years ago, we finished sixth in the country. There's a standard inside of our building, and we're going to continue to grow.
Now they have to go do it. You don't just show up the next year and you're better because you're a year older. You're in your fifth year instead of your fourth year at the University of Tennessee. And we've spent the last few weeks, a lot of the time, talking about, okay, here's what they need at the skill positions. Here's what they need up front. Today on the show, we discussed here are some of the key players that they have to replace. Dylan Sampson is gone. How do you replace his production in the offensive backfield? So the to-do list is pretty lengthy to get to the position that an Ohio State has been in this season, that Georgia and Alabama have been in the last several years, last couple of decades, in one of those cases, where LSU has been at the top. So there's a to-do list where Tennessee needs to check off some items, but that's the objective right now for Tennessee. Don't just maintain, continue to grow.
Yeah.
You also can't have this conversation. We've discussed the subject recently. You can't have this conversation about Tennessee's fan base, because part of that's coming back to the text saying fans are ungrateful. Tennessee has a huge fan base, a passionate fan base, and when things are going great, there's a huge celebration. When things go poorly, when there's disappointment, there's going to be some extreme in the reaction. We can't be surprised by that. You just can't overreact to what that, I would say, percentage of the fan base says. So we're in social media era where we see everything. Everything's out there. You can immediately respond. When I shared the message earlier today, hey, it's been 4 years since Josh Heupel was hired. Here's some things he's accomplished. A few of the responses was, yeah, but what about on the road? Yeah, but what about the SEC championship? Yeah, but they lost in the playoff. I know.
That's the next step.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do next. You can recognize the accomplishments while also pointing out what is missing and what has to happen next for Tennessee football.
Well, Tony Vitello did it. Tony Vitello reached an area on the mountain. It wasn't the top, but it was pretty high area on the mountain when he went to the College World Series. Didn't win a game. And then he tried to climb back up that mountain, was the number one team in the country for the majority of the season, but lost to Notre Dame and didn't get out of the Super Regional. And then you made another climb, and then you won a game. And then this past year, you made that climb and got to the top of the mountain. But I'm pretty sure if you ask Tony Vitello, did he adjust? Did he change as a coach? Did he do anything different from the first time he got to the mountain to the last time when he got to the top of the mountain? I'm pretty sure he's going to say, yes, there were some adjustments that I made, that we made. Josh Heupel needs to make those adjustments himself to do the same things that you've done in these 4 years, which, hey, you've had success, but it's not the success that you want. If you want the success that you've been gunning for, which is to get to the top of the mountain, there's going to be some adjustments that you have to make. And let's see if he makes those. But, yeah, like coaches evolve, especially young coaches, which last time I checked, Josh Heupel's still a young coach. Tony Vitello's still a young coach. These guys are not Rick Barnes. And Rick Barnes, who's been coaching since the beginning of time, has shown the ability to adjust. He's adjusted when getting players from the transfer portal. He's adjusted through NIL. Like, you always evolve. You always adjust as a head coach. Nick Saban did it during the last 10 years at Alabama. But if you're unwilling to adjust, then you're okay with the results that are coming your way.
That is what's next
That's what's next, man.
for Tennessee football.